Lord Vishnu's incarnations. Sachi once reached Naimisharanya in course of his pilgrimage. There he found numerous sages engaged in austerities and penance. All of them were delighted to find Sachi in their midst and considered it as a God-sent opportunity to get their doubts related with religious topics cleared. Sage Shaunak was also present there, and he asked Sachi, "Oh, revered sage, who is the creator of this world? Who nurtures it and who annihilates it in the end? How can one realize the Supreme Almighty? How many incarnations the Almighty has taken till now? Please enlighten us on all these things, which are shrouded in mystery." Sachi replied, "I am going to reveal to you the contents of Garuda Purana, which contains the divine tales of Lord Vishnu. This particular Purana is named after Garuda because he was the one who first narrated these tales to sage Kashyap. Kashyap subsequently narrated them to sage Vyasa. I came to know about these divine tales from sage Vyasa. Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Almighty and the source of all creations. He is the nurturer of this world and the annihilator as well. Though he is beyond the bondage of birth and death, yet he takes incarnations to protect the world from the tyranny of sinners. His first incarnation was in the form of the eternal adolescent Sanatkumar and others who were all celibates and extremely virtuous. Lord Vishnu took his second incarnation in the form of a boar, Varaha, to protect the earth from the mighty demon named Yaksha, who had abducted her to Paitaloka, netherworld. In his third incarnation as Narada, he propagated the virtues of Nishkam Karma, performing one's duties without bothering about the results. In his fourth incarnation as Narayan, he performed arduous austerities for the protection and propagation of Dharma or religiousness. Lord Vishnu's fifth incarnation was as Kapil, which he took to protect the Sankhya Shastra, which was on the verge of becoming extinct. He took his sixth incarnation in the house of Atri and Anusuya as Dattatreya with the specific objective of propagating the most secret Brahma Vidya to worthy people. His disciples included virtuous souls like Prahalad and others. Lord Vishnu took his seventh incarnation as the son of Ruchi Prajapati and Akuti and was known as Yajadeva. His eighth incarnation was as Rishabdeva, the son of Sajnabi and Marudevi. In this incarnation he established the norms for Grihastha-ashram, which later on became the guidelines for every householders. Lord Vishnu took his ninth incarnation as Prithawind milked, extracted various nutrients, cereals, pulses etc., from the earth, who had disguised herself as a cow and thus protected the populace from getting starved to death. In his 10th incarnation as Matsya, fish, he protected the life of Vaivaswad Manu, who would not have survived otherwise. Lord Vishnu took his 11th incarnation in the form of a tortoise, Kama, and held the Mandarakal mountain on his back at the time when the ocean was being churned. His 12th incarnation was as Dhanvantari and 13th as the most enchanting beauty, Mohini, to retrieve the ambrosia pot from the possession of the demons. He subsequently distributed it among the deities as the result of which they became immortal. In his 14th incarnation, Lord Vishnu manifested himself as Nrsimha, partly human and partly lion, and to protect his devotee, Prahlad, killed the wicked demon Hiranyakashipu by tearing apart his abdomen with his sharp claws. His 15th incarnation was as Vaman, dwarf, in which he demanded all the three worlds from Bali, the most benevolent demon king, and then sent him to Paitaloka. In his 16th incarnation as Parsuram, he wiped out the whole caste of Kshatriyas from the face of the earth for 21 times, as they had all become immoral. In his 17th incarnation he was born as Vyasa to Parasha and Satyavati, and accomplished his mission of propagating the knowledge of Vedas by categorizing them into 4 parts. In his 18th incarnation he manifested himself as Sri Ram. His 19th incarnation was as Krishna and his 20th incarnation as Balaram. He will take his 21st incarnation as Buddha to bring the mankind back to virtuous path by preaching against the rituals and proving that it is not proper for a seeker to get bound by them. Lord Vishnu would take incarnation as Kalki and will be born to a Brahmin named VISHNU'S to liberate the earth from the sinners. How Garuda Purana was propagated. On being asked by the sages as to how did he come to know about the contents of Garuda Purana, Sachi told them, "Once, I had gone to Bhadrakashram, where I met sage Vyasa. I requested him to enlighten me on various spiritual matters, to which he agreed, saying that he was going to narrate the tales of Garuda Purana, which was first told by Lord Brahma to Narada, Daksha Prajapati and myself. Sage Vyasa then told Sachi how once he along with Narada, Daksha and Bhrigu had gone to Brahmaloka to see Lord Brahma. After reaching there, all 3 of them requested Lord Brahma to shed light on the essence of the real knowledge. Lord Brahma revealed to them that Garuda Purana contained the essence of all the scriptures, and Lord Vishnu himself had narrated its divine tales to him, Brahma. Describing the incident, when Lord Vishnu had told the divine tales of Garuda Purana to him as well as Shiva, Lord Brahma said, "I once went to Kailash mountain accompanied by Indra and other deities. We found Shiva engrossed in his meditation. We were amazed and asked him as to who was he meditating upon. Lord Shiva told us that he was meditating upon the omnipresent, omniscient and the omnipotent Vishnu, in whom the entire universe exists. Lord Shiva also revealed to us that this was all he knew of Vishnu's power, and also that if we wanted to know more about him then we will have to ask Lord Vishnu himself." So, all of us including Shiva went to Vishnuloka and requested Lord Vishnu to clear our doubts on various topics which confused us. Lord Vishnu gave a long discourse covering all the major religious topics. Lord Vishnu reveals his omnipotent nature. Dwelling on length about his power, Lord Vishnu told Shiva, "O Rudra, I am the Lord of all the deities. I am the one who controls each and every event that occurs in the universe. I am the one whom mortals worship with the desire of attaining salvation. The universe would have ceased to exist but for me. I am the creator, the nurturer as well as the supreme annihilator. I manifest myself in the sacred mantras as well as their meanings. People meditate on me. Matter is nothing but a medium through which I manifest myself." Lord Vishnu blesses Garuda. Describing how Garuda pleased him with his deep devotion, Lord Vishnu said, "During ancient times Garuda once did an austere penance to please me. I appeared before him and expressed my willingness to fulfill anything that he wished for. Garuda wanted to liberate his mother, Vinata, from the slavery of Kadru, the mother of serpents. He also wanted to avenge his mother's humiliation at their hands. He also expressed his desire of becoming immortal, by having a Purana credited to his name, and finally he requested me to give him the privilege of becoming my mount. I blessed Garuda, as the result of which all his wishes were fulfilled. Once, on being requested by sage Kashyap, Garuda narrated the divine tales of Garuda Purana to him. Sage Kashyap had once brought back a dead tree back to life with the help of Garudi Vidya, a sacred mantra found in Garuda Purana. Similarly, Garuda too had brought numerous dead creatures back to life with the help of same mantra. The beginning of creation. Lord Shiva requested Vishnu to shed light on different topics like Saga, world, Saga. Vansh, dynasties, Manvantara, 14th part of Brahma's day, and Vanshanu Charit, genealogy. Lord Vishnu replied, "O Rudra, Lord Vasudeva in his incarnation of Naranaran performs his responsibilities of the creator, protector as well as the annihilator. Each particle that is found in this universe, whether perceptible or imperceptible, is nothing but the medium through which the Almighty makes his presence felt. In the beginning of the creation, on account of his will, subtle matter of nature, imperceptible, came into being. He is the one to whom Atma or Purusha owe its existence. Subsequently, intelligence or buddhi manifested itself from the subtle matter of nature, mind or man from intelligence, space or akash from mind, air or vayu from space, fire or teja from air, water from teja, and finally the earth manifested itself from water. O Rudra! Then came into existence an enormous-sized egg. I dwell within that egg, and so do all the other deities. In fact, the whole universe is situated within that egg. The Almighty Vishnu creates in the form of Brahma, nurtures in the form of Vishnu, and annihilates in the form of Shiva at the end of each kalpa. The creations of the Almighty are known as sagas. First of all, the Almighty creates the Mahat Tattva, which symbolizes his gross quality. Since it was his first creation, therefore it was called the first saga. The second saga consisted of the creation of the Panch Tanmatras, or the five basic elements: earth, prithvi, water, jala, fire, teja, air, vayu, and sound, shabda. These five basic elements are the stuffs from which matter is made. The third saga, namely Vaikaraka Saga, comprising the creation of all the sense organs and the organs of the actions, is basically intelligence-oriented, because the sense organs cannot function without intelligence. All these above-mentioned three sagas come under the category of Prakrit Saga, or natural creation. Their fourth saga is known as Mukhya Saga, or the main creation, and consisted of immovable things like mountains, trees, etc. The fifth saga is known as Tarkshya Saga and consisted of animals and birds. The sixth saga comprised the creation of the deities and other celestial beings, and hence it is also known as Deva Saga. The seventh saga comprised the creation of human beings, and hence it was called Manush Saga. The eighth saga, which is also called Danugra Saga, consisted of creations that are both sattvic, pure, and tamasic, dark, in nature. The ninth saga is called Kurma Saga. Lord Brahma commenced his creation of supreme entities by expressing his will, resulting into the manifestation of all the 10 Manasaputras. Subsequently, Lord Brahma created different other entities like deities, Deva, demons, Danav, ancestors, Pitra, and human beings, Manushya. He then created the Asharas from his thighs and subsequently abandoned his body. The dark qualities emanating from the body resulted into the creation of night, a creation that immensely pleased the demons. Lord Brahma then attained a new physical form, which was pure, sattvic, in nature. He created the deities from his mouth and once again abandoned his body, resulting into the creation of day this time. All the deities became extremely pleased by this particular creation of Brahma. Once again Lord Brahma attained another form and created the Pitras, and when he abandoned that body, Sandhya, evening, manifested from it. Lord Brahma then attained a form that was Rajamaya in nature and created human beings. His abandoning that particular form resulted into the creation of Pratakal, dawn. Subsequently, Lord Brahma created the different species like Yaksha, Sarpa, Gandharva and Apsaras, and many more creatures from the different parts of his body. all the four Vedas, namely Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda and Atharvaveda, manifested themselves from each of Brahma's four mouths. Similarly, all the four castes such as Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra manifested from Brahma's mouth, arms, thighs and feet respectively. The beginning of copulative creation. Having created Daksha Prajapati and his wife Prasuti from his right and left thumb respectively, Lord Brahma instructed both of them to make their contribution in increasing the population with the help of copulative creation. In course of time, Daksha Prajapati begot numerous daughters, all of whom were given in marriage to 10 Manasputras. Once, Daksha Prajapati had organized a grand Ashwamedha Yaja to which he had invited all his daughters and son-in-laws except Sati and Rudra. Sati eventually reached her father's place much against the advice of Shiva, who was strictly against going to a place uninvited. Shiva's apprehensions were not unfounded supposition, as Sati was indeed humiliated by Daksha in front of all the esteemed guests. Sati was so deeply hurt by her father's rude behavior and the manner in which he made fun of her husband that she gave up her life by jumping into the sacrificial fire. When Rudra learnt about Sati's death, he cursed Daksha by saying that he would lose his divine status and would be born as a human being in the lineage of Dhruva. In her next birth, Sati was born as the daughter of Himalaya and Mainak. She was once again successful in getting Shiva as her husband by virtue of her deep devotion towards Shiva. The Dhruva dynasty. Lord Vishnu, continuing with the tales of Garuda Purana, told Shiva, Uttanpada had 2 wives, Saruchi and Sunita. From his former wife he begot a son named Uttam, while Sunita gave birth to Dhruva, who became immortal because of his unflinching devotion in me. Dhruva had a mighty son named Shlishta. Prachinvahi was Shlishta's son and Dhruva's grandson. Few other prominent personalities coming from the lineage of Dhruva were Udadhi, Devanjaya, Ripu, Chagsush, Ruru, Anga, Vn etc. Vn was an atheist and was eventually killed by sages for his immoral deeds. Since Vn had no progeny, his death put a question mark on his successor. Sages tried to solve this problem by churning his thighs, which resulted into the emergence of Nishad. But Nishad went to Vindhyakal to do penance. Seeing their whole effort go in vain, all the sages once again churned Vn's hands. This time Lord Vishnu himself incarnated as Prithu. Prithu was an extremely kind-hearted king and cared for his subjects. Once, when his kingdom was experiencing an acute famine, he successfully extracted the essential nutrients from the earth and thus saved his subjects from starvation. Prithu had 10 sons, prominent among whom were Antadhan, Havardhan, Prachinvahi, and Prashitas. In course of time Prashitas married Marisha. Just according to the curse of Shiva, Daksha Prajapati was reborn in the clan of Dhruva. His father's name was Prashitas and his mother was Marisha. In the beginning, Daksha Prajapati tried to do creation by merely expressing his will, but his efforts went futile because of Shiva's curse. So, he had no option but to take the help of copulative creation, and to meet his objective he married Astasena, the daughter of Varun. In course of time he became the father of 1,000 sons, all of whom perished while on their impossible mission of finding out the circumference of the earth. Actually, sage Narada had incited all of them to undertake this impossible mission. Daksha, though angry, did not lose heart, and in course of time he once again fathered 1,000 sons. Once again, Narada was successful in convincing them to emulate the deeds of their elder brothers. All of them set out on an impossible mission never to return. Now, Daksha's anger crossed all limits and he cursed Narada by saying that he would take birth as a human for inciting his sons to death. This is the reason why Narada was born as Kashyap's son. In the years to follow, Daksha Prajapati begot 60 beautiful daughters from Asni, among whom he gave away 2 daughters in marriage to sage Angira, 2 to sage Krishashva, 10 to Dharma, 14 to sage Kashyap and 28 daughters to Chandrama. The names of Krishashva's wives were Supraja and Jaya, while Dharma's wives were Arundhati, Vasu, Yami, Lamba, Bhanumati, Marutavati, Sankalpa, Mu'urta, Sadaya, and Vishva. The names of Kashyap's wives were Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kala, Anu, Sainuka, Muni, Kadru, Sadaya, Ira, Krodha, Vinata, Zurabi and Kaga. Dharma's wives Vishva and Sadaya gave birth to the Vishvadevas and Sadayaganas respectively. Similarly, Marutavati gave birth to Marutavans and Vasu to Vasaganas. Dharma's wife named Banu gave birth to 12 Banas, while Mu'urta gave birth to Mu'urtaganas. Lamba gave birth to Ghosh, while Yami gave birth to Nagvathi. Sankalpa gave birth to Sankalpa. Kashyap's wife Aditi gave birth to 12 Adityas, while Diti gave birth to 2 sons, demons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Diti also had a daughter named Sainuka, who was married to Viprashiti. Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons, Anuhlad, Hlad, Prahlad, and Sanhlad. Ayushman, Shibi and Bashkal were the sons of Sanhlad. Prahlad had a mighty son named Virochon, who himself had a son named Bali. Bali had 100 sons in all, and Banu was the eldest among them. Hiranyaksha had 6 sons, all of whom were very brave and valiant. Their names were Yutka, Shakyuni, Butsantapan, Mahanam, Mahabeu, and Kalnam. Danu had numerous sons who were all very brave: Dwimurdha, Shainka, Aomag, Shankashira, Kapil, Shambar, Ikachakra, Mahabeu, Tarak, Mahabal, Swabanu, Vrishapava, Puloma, Mahaja, and the mightiest among them, Viprashiti. Puloma and Kalka, both daughters of Shwina, were married to sage Kashyap. Kashyap had 60,000 sons, demons, from both of them. Demons such as Nayat came from the lineage of Prahlad. Tamra had 6 daughters, and their names were Shuki, Shaini, Masi, Sugravi, Shachi, and Grika. Shuki gave birth to numerous species of birds like shukar, parrot, aluka, owls, and kakro. Similarly, Shaini gave birth to Shine, hawk, and Grika to Grik, vulture. Shachi was the mother of aquatic birds, while Sugravi gave birth to various animals like horses, camels, donkeys, etc. Aaron and Garuda were born to Vinata, while Sasa and Kadru gave birth to serpents. Krodha gave birth to powerful pishachas, Zurabi to cows and buffaloes, Ira to various vegetation like creepers and grass, Kaga to yakshas and rakshas, Muni to apsaras, and Arishta gave birth to Gandharvas. Diti gave birth to 49 Maraganas, all of whom are in fact the incarnations of Lord Vishnu.